Uh, Jesse, just on a lighter note to start, are you aware that the last time the Springboks won at Eden Park, it was captained by a Maritzburg College old boy and Philip Nell?
A mate of mine that I actually went to school with, and a previous headmaster at college actually sent that to me. So, yeah, interesting stat.
My main question just is, if you can just talk us through your preparations in Auckland since you arrived. Obviously, there would have been things you identified from the series against the Wallabies that you wanted to fix. Are you guys satisfied that you've done everything you can to be ready for this massive game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think getting here a few days earlier as a player has been unbelievable. I think getting into the time zone and getting a few extra days to work on recovery and get the body right, and then also extra 2 days on the field has been great. I think we've had an unbelievable week of preparation, one that I've been very happy with, and I think the team as well. And yeah, looking forward to the big game tomorrow.
Jesse, my question is for you. We all know about the history. We all know about Eden Park. We all know about the closeness of tests, and every test is important for every player. What makes this test different for you as Jesse Kriel and as a captain?
I think, first of all, it's another opportunity to play in a green and gold jersey. I think the magnitude of the game is also something that excites me. I think as a competitor, I think most of the guys will say the same thing. You want to be involved in the biggest of test matches, and this is right up there. You want to test yourself against the best, whether it's in your position or whether it's world rankings or I mean, whatever you want to call it. I think it's the ultimate test, and that's what you get excited for as a player. So I think that's what's in the back of my mind. And then also, we know for the Rugby Championship, this is an extremely important game for us, one that we've been looking forward to for a long time. And yeah, I think tomorrow doesn't get any bigger and any more exciting than this for a player and for people watching.
Coach, can I possibly ask you? I would have asked the captain a question, but I want to ask you, Coach. Something. Usually, as journalists, we get a lot of stats from the likes of Zina and SA Rugby and stats that help us to promote and sell the match. Do you guys, as members of a team, a national team, do you guys look at stats? And the biggest stat that stands out this past week, and every single press conference, whether it's to Rassie Erasmus, whether it's to Jesse Kriel, whether it's to Scott Robinson, is the fact that the Springboks haven't won at this venue in the past, 37 years? Does that matter to you guys?
Yeah, I think us as coaches, probably the stats that we normally focus more on will probably be rugby stats, and then the history about the stadium and how many games they've lost and the last time they've lost. I don't think it's a main focus for us, for once again. I think out of the group of players we've got now, only 3 guys have played there before, so that history doesn't count to us, I'm talking about me personally as a coach, what counts to for me, it's what's going to happen tomorrow, so if you go back to 1930, whatever, I don't think it's got something to do with me. And I know they take a lot of pride when it comes to their history and their legacy they've got in the stadium. But I think for us, the legacy is with the Springbok jersey. We have to make sure that we protect it. We have to make sure that we give ourselves a good chance to make sure that we perform tomorrow. And, once again, if you want to win the competition, you have to make sure that you beat the best, and the All Blacks, can't ask for any better team than playing the All Blacks in New Zealand, So, yeah, once again, regarding the history about the stadium, I don't think it's got that much impact on us. I think, yeah, the key thing for us is to make sure that we keep representing our country with pride and dignity, and make sure that we keep everything in our powers to make our people back at home proud.
Jesse, I know that you guys have mentioned before that, captaining the team isn't that massive of a thing when it comes to the fact of how big your leadership group is in the team. But, before the season started, you'd never captained the Boks before. Did you ever imagine that you'd be going into the Eden Park test, captaining them for the 4th time in a 3rd official test? And is that quite a special thing for you? And was it also really special to get that sort of validation from Sia? Even though he came into the team late, he suggested that, you hold on to the captaincy for this game.
Yeah, I think, first of all, it just speaks it speaks volumes of the kind of leader Sia is. We all know that Sia is our captain and that he is the captain of this team, and it's all of us that kind of help and lead when we need to. And I'm obviously have got that role this weekend, and something that I take massive pride in leading this team and doing my part. But then again, I've said it many times, there are so many leaders throughout this squad, and I'm not just talking about the 23 guys playing tomorrow. I'm talking about the entire wider group, the coaches. There's leaders in each and every suppose place over there. So it's a massive privilege. I wouldn't have thought that it would be happening, but then again, it's the most important thing is that I do my job and that I do what is expected of me as a player, and I think then the rest obviously takes care of itself. So extremely proud, extremely privileged. It's a massive honor. So yeah.
Soccer, for you, please. How important was it? You guys were there more than a week, but how important was it to also not over prepare? If you know what I mean, run the guys into the ground during training and then have nothing left for the Saturday.
No, Leighton, I wouldn't put it that way, that we over prepared. I think one of the key things when we arrived here early was for us to make sure that we acclimatize nicely when it comes to, the time difference. It's something that's crazy, 10-hour different. So we had to make sure that we get here early. And then one of the main focus things at that time was the recovery with the players. Probably they spent about the first 2 days doing mostly recovery and then some gym work, and then we've only spent 2 days. I think it was on Friday and Saturday only last week. So I wouldn't say we've overworked them. We've got a very, very, very experienced SNC department in Andy and Sebastian. They know very well what needs to be done for the players to be ready for the game. So we trust them. And I don't think we will put it that way that we've overworked them. But once again, I think with the preps that we've got this week, the vibe around in Auckland, everyone is talking about this game. But for us, the key thing was just to make sure that we do the things that needs to be done to make sure that we're ready for this game. It's going to be a massive game. Playing All Blacks at home, it's not a joke. And more especially with the occasion, like I said to you, it's a very, very historical venue for them, and also for a guy like Adi Savia, playing his 100th Test match. I know it's going to be a very, very special occasion. And once again, congratulations to him for what he has achieved. And also, he's been a true legend of the game, so congrats to him. And but when it comes to our preps, the key focus for us was to make sure that we keep improving on where we left against Australia. We had a slow start, but once again, if you want to win the competition, you want to be able to beat the best in the world, which is the All Blacks, the #1 team in the world. And we're looking forward to that challenge.
Jesse, please take us into your confidence. Can I kindly ask you, Skipper? This is your. I know you want to make it about a team. I want to ask you a personal question. What do you do before a match, sir? Do you drink a cup of coffee? Do you dance? Do you sing to yourself? Do you pray, sir? Just maybe give us a bit of insight, sir.
No, I don't have any. I'm not a very superstitious person. I just do what's on the program and what's expected of me, and then I've just obviously got my own way of just leading up to the game. But I'm not a very superstitious person. Believe that the preparation and the hard work that you do throughout the week will get you in a good position to perform on the weekend. So yeah.
Coach Tucker, you mentioned Adi Savia, and maybe Jesse can chip in, who's played a couple of games against him. Just what makes him such a special player and also and a competitor for you guys over the years that you've faced each other.
Yeah, I think what for me, what stands out about him is I think his big moments. I think he has massive moments in games wherever he plays. I mean, I've played against him in Japan, in Super Rugby. I've played against him in Test matches, and I think you'll always see him putting up his hand, making big moments in Test matches. I think he's a guy that works hard, and he's a big figure for them that leads by action. So it's a massive occasion and a big milestone for him, and I think it's an awesome achievement. So yeah.
Jesse, on a perspective, you guys have done your captain's run. I mean, how's the mood in camp at the moment, especially for such a game of this magnitude?
Yeah, Nate, as I said earlier on, these are all the games that the guys get extremely excited for. Doesn't get any bigger than this, I suppose, besides in the World Cup. And this is what you train hard for, and you work towards each and every day of your professional career to play in games like this. So, yeah, the mood's awesome. The guys are excited. We've had a great week of prep, and just looking forward to tomorrow.
Jesse, can I just ask maybe? The All Blacks coming off a loss, does that make your job just that little bit harder that they lost in Argentina last week or the week before?
Mike, I think the All Blacks are always a tough team to play against, regardless of whether they won or lost, or won or on the weekend. I think they're quality players of the highest class, and I think the rivalry between the Springboks and New Zealand is something that is unmatched in my opinion, and I think it's as good as it gets. So I don't think the loss will be any difference, and I think they'll be motivated just as much as they would have been if they had won. So I think it'll be a great game.